I never expected my world to come crashing down the way it did that day. It wasn't even the worst day in terms of what was happening to me. It was the moment I realized everything I thought I knew about love, trust, and loyalty had been a lie. That's when she did it. I was sitting at a cafe, mindlessly scrolling through my phone, when a message popped up from a number I didn't recognize. The name was familiar. Emily, my girlfriend. The message simply read, "Meet me at the park." It was an odd request, but I thought nothing of it and decided to go. After all, she was the woman I loved, and I had every reason to believe in her. When I arrived, I found her sitting on a bench, looking uneasy. She smiled when she saw me, but there was something different about her smile. It didn't reach her eyes. "Hey, babe," I said, trying to read her mood. "What's going on?" Her smile faltered for a moment, and she hesitated. I need to tell you something," she said. Her voice was soft, almost like she was bracing herself for the worst. Before she could say anything more, I saw a figure walking toward us from across the park. It was a man. He was tall, confident, and familiar. Jason. My heart sank. Jason wasn't just any guy. He was her coworker. He was charming, good-looking, everything I wasn't. And they were friends, or at least that's what I thought. As he got closer, I could see the way they were looking at each other. There was an undeniable tension between them. And then, as if it was scripted, Emily stood up, wrapped her arms around him, and kissed him on the lips. I froze. I didn't know how to react. The world around me seemed to blur as my mind scrambled to make sense of what was happening. I felt the air leave my lungs. I looked at Emily, searching for some explanation, but her face, that face I thought I knew so well, was now distant and cold. "I'm sorry, David," she whispered, stepping back from Jason. "I didn't mean for you to find out this way, but I've been seeing him for a while now." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. The words echoed in my mind, over and over again. She's been cheating on me. The woman I loved, the woman I thought I'd spend my life with, had been lying to me, sneaking around behind my back. And now she was admitting it publicly. Jason didn't say anything. He just stood there, smug, his arms folded, like he was enjoying the whole spectacle. I felt a rage boil up inside of me, but it wasn't the kind of rage I was used to. It wasn't anger. I didn't want to yell or hit or fight. I just wanted to leave. I turned around without saying a word and walked away, feeling my world collapse around me. I didn't go home. I didn't know where to go. I ended up wandering around the city, aimlessly, like a man who had lost everything. I didn't even care to check my phone. I didn't care about anything. I just needed to be alone. But then, something strange happened. I found myself outside the library. It wasn't planned. I just ended up there, my feet carrying me through the doors without any real thought. Inside, it was quiet, peaceful, a stark contrast to the chaos inside my head. And that's when I met them. Two girls were sitting in a corner, studying, their books scattered across the table. One of them, a brunette, was reading a psychology textbook, while the other, a blonde, was flipping through a philosophy novel. They looked up when I entered, and for some reason, I felt drawn to them. "Are you okay?" the brunette asked, her voice soft, almost concerned. I didn't know how to answer. I didn't know what I was doing here, or why I was talking to them, but something about their presence made me feel safe. Maybe it was the calm of the library, or maybe it was the fact that they seemed to see me, not just as a guy walking by, but as someone in need. I don't know, I said, running my hand through my hair. "I just found out some things today, and I don't know what to do anymore." The blonde smiled gently. "Want to talk about it?" It wasn't something I had planned to do, but I found myself sitting down at their table. I told them everything, about Emily, about Jason, how I felt betrayed and lost. They listened, really listened, without interrupting, without judgment. It felt good. We spent hours talking, not just about my heartbreak, but about life, philosophy, and even books they were reading. We laughed, joked, and for the first time in a long time, I felt like I could breathe again. They didn't try to fix me. They didn't give me advice I didn't need. They simply offered a space to be vulnerable. And for that moment, in that library, I felt something shift inside me. I wasn't broken. I wasn't lost. I was simply healing. The hours passed like minutes. And as the library started to empty, I realized I hadn't thought about Emily or Jason for a while. "Thank you," I said, standing up to leave. I didn't expect to come here and meet two strangers who would help me heal tonight." The brunette smiled. "You're welcome. Sometimes the best therapy is just talking to someone who doesn't know you." I nodded, a small smile tugging at my lips. As I walked out of the library, I felt lighter, somehow. The weight that had been on my chest all day had finally started to lift. I wasn't whole, but I wasn't destroyed either. I could see the path forward now, and it was up to me to walk it. The night had started with betrayal, with loss, but it ended with something unexpected: connection. In the quiet of the library, with two girls who didn't know me but cared anyway, I had found the strength to move on. And I realized something important. Healing doesn't happen in public. It doesn't happen in front of others who have hurt you. It happens in private, in places where you feel safe, and with people who remind you that you're still worthy of love, even after everything falls apart.